Well, let's take a look at the syllabus for the course. I think it's a good idea. You can read it yourself, certainly, but I think it's a good idea for me to kind of go over it. Again, I'm Scott Dillery. My email, dillerys@lindsay.edu. Of course, you can use Blackboard to get to me that way. My office phone, and then office hours. The most important thing I think for you all is the to be determined. I will set up through Google Hangouts. Sometimes we can get together. We'll see how that goes. We'll start something this week, and you can ask questions at that point. It'll probably be in this first week. It'll probably be later this week, and like maybe Friday or Saturday even. But definitely feel free to contact me. The best way is through email. Feel free to contact me before that if you have a question. And let's see. So. Catalog description, most people don't really care too much about that. Here, our textbook is online, introductory statistics with randomization. We have a link on the Blackboard, and I suggest you go ahead and download that PDF. So you have it on your computer and you don't need then the internet to look at the textbook. There's some data. I don't know that you'll really need to go to that part of the site. And then a spreadsheet like Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets, or Open Office Calc. For us, I think all three of these do everything we need. I know that Excel and OpenOffice do everything we need. Google Sheets, at one point it had trouble with something that we did, but I think it now can maybe do everything we do in the class. I will use OpenOffice Calc in my videos. As far as what you put into the spreadsheet cells and the function names, those sorts of things, they are all the same in OpenOffice Calc as they are in Microsoft Excel, and actually the same in Google Sheets. So most spreadsheets have decided on particular function names, and so those are all the same. The top ribbons are different, but and definitely some of the dialog boxes and so forth. But the thing is I decided to go with OpenOffice Calc because it is free. Anybody can use it. And another reason is, if I only used Excel, great. But you may like to use Google Sheets, or you may like to use OpenOffice Calc. I don't know, and so in that way, I think settling on any given one of these three would still leave some people out. Some people have Macintosh, and Microsoft Excel on a Macintosh has a few slightly different keyboard strokes for certain items than the other spreadsheets do, and so there isn't a single best spreadsheet. Even within Microsoft Excel, you have different versions. So what you want to do is get the idea of what a spreadsheet can do for you, and then use your particular favorite, and that particular favorite may change over time due to either jobs or just some new feature or something like that. So again, I will use OpenOffice Calc in the videos, but that's all very portable to these other spreadsheets as well. Objectives, learning outcomes. Here's what you really care about where is your grade taken from. And so what we see is, again, this is a project-based course. That's 50% of the points. And with that, each week, each module, we have a lesson project. They will usually use the spreadsheet somehow or other, and but also involve some reading and just some thought and analysis at times. Also, each module, for the first 7 modules, we have quizzes. They are 20%, and discussions, which are 10%. All these things are due on Sundays. However, except with the one exception, this lesson discussions, the initial post, I would like that done on Friday so people have time to read and reply by Sunday, because you're asked to reply. Final project is also due on a Friday, the last day of class. That is a Friday, not a Sunday on this calendar. Here are the descriptions. So discussions, those are to help you go out and find material relevant to the course, share it with others, think about it. Now, it doesn't say it here in this stuff, but there's the target number of words is 250. For the most part, if people address the topic, use about 250 words, and then reply to at least 2 people, they get all the points, and I'll give you 20 points, up to 20 points for each discussion. But people get all the points, and just do that, and you should be fine. If you're way under the 250 words, that's not good. You'll lose points. If you're way over, that's not good. You'll lose points. You can add images and links and so forth. Images don't count toward the word count, even though they're worth 1,000 words. I suppose you could do a fourth of an image or something. But no, you can add as many images as you think is reasonable. You don't have to add images. It's up to you and what makes sense. Quizzes. They're usually about 10 questions, multiple choice or multiple answer, and you get 2 shots at those. They're online, of course, and when you hit submit, it will show you how you did and give you your score for each quiz. And then projects, those are more in depth, and you want to get started on those right away. They are time consuming when you first go through them. I can get through them pretty fast. There's not that much there to do, but when it's your first time through them, and also just kind of thinking about these new topics and so forth, they can take a while, so you want to get started on those right away. Now, the big thing is when you'll probably do them in Word, is my guess. Most people will. But whatever you might do them in Google Docs, but whatever you use, once you've done it and saved it, then you need to export it to a PDF document. And if anybody has a question about that, just let me know. But a PDF makes much more sense to turn in, and you'll have a file upload on the projects to do that. And then the final project, you'll learn more about that even as early as next week, and that you work on a longer term problem of your choosing. You may work together. You can find somebody within the course. Now, there's not a lot of you, but if there's somebody that you take the time to work with on this project, that's absolutely fine. You'll just need to let me know that you're doing that. But you can work in pairs. Even up to 3 people could work on a single project. It's just important that you all contribute and you all show me how you contributed, and that's part of the project, to show how everyone contributed. Grades, I go a basic 90, 80, 70, 60 scale, with a 90 and up being an A, 80 and up being a B, 70 and up being a C, 60 a D, and then anything below that is an F. And now one thing on Blackboard, when you look at scores there, it will give you total points, not the weighted average. So notice your weighted average is this. So for instance, a good example is discussions will go in as 20 points. Now there are only 10 questions. You'll get a score out of 10, but actually when I enter it in the Blackboard, I'll double it, and so you'll be given a score out of 20. And so quizzes and discussions will both be 20 points on Blackboard. However, quizzes are worth twice as much as discussions, and therefore Blackboard will calculate your percentage incorrectly. Okay, it'll be off. Now I try to do points as close as possible, but just the way it works out, discussions go in really as twice as many points as they're worth in the weighted average. So just, if you want to know where you're sitting at any given point, send me an email. You can get a good idea from your discussions and quizzes and projects as you do them. But again, Blackboard will be a little off, not way off, but a little off in kind of showing where you are at any given point. And notice on the weeks and modules here, we pretty much go by chapter in the text for the first 5 modules. The last 2 modules actually split chapter 6, the multiple regression and so forth. And the idea here is that kind of once we get started, really from this chapter 2 on, the foundations for inference, the big idea in this course is all about hypothesis testing. We want you to understand very well what a hypothesis test is, and all these other chapters, so chapters 3 through 6, they are all doing instances or examples of hypothesis testing. It's just the type of data we have. So notice it says inference for categorical data. Okay, you'll learn about that type of thing in chapter 1. And then numerical data here, and so it's all about the kind of data you have as far as which one of these chapters is applicable. But they're all doing the same basic idea, and that's what we're going to focus on. And important dates for the spring are on here, and then in a separate file you can look at the college-wide policies as they have them written. All right, that's it for the syllabus. If you have any questions on anything, certainly just contact me, and I'll see if I can answer it. Hopefully I can.